guys, welcome back to another episode of What the Smut Book Reviews. Thank you guys for joining me so much. Today I'm going to be reviewing for you guys two books of a four-part series written by co-authors Margaret and Dagmar Avery. I hope I'm pronouncing that properly and not just completely botching it. If I am, I'm so sorry. The two books I'm going to be reviewing, it's like a double whammy today. So it's going to be this book here called Eclipsed Heart, and this second book here called Spectral Heart. And this is the first two books in the Apocalypse Rising series by these two authors. As you can see, the second one is a little bit thicker than the first one. The first book, which is Eclipsed Heart, has 232 pages according to Amazon. Spectral Heart has 344 pages according to Amazon. So like 100 and something more pages than the first book, which is good because I feel like if it's part of a series and you really want people to dive into it and really get like attached to the story, that, you know, the books should get longer and longer as they go. Maybe that's just my opinion, because you can never have too much of a good thing, right? In honor of this series, I am wearing my my badass book nerd tank top, which was sent to me along with these books and a few other little swag items from the lovely Stella Price, who, if you did not know, is the second author. I'm not sure if this is her real name and she goes under Stella Price on other social media outlets, or if this is a pseudonym and her real name is Stella Price. I have a feeling it's the second one. But these books were sent to me to read and check out, which I really appreciate. These books are part of their Apocalypse Rising series. There are 4 books in total. The first 2 I just showed you. The third book in the series is called Sacred Heart, and the 4th book is called Darkened Heart. So I just love, I don't know, there's something about like not like self-published authors, but like authors who aren't widely known or aren't, you know, like mainstream, who print their books through Amazon and they come in like this large paperback type format. And for some reason, I don't know if it's just Amazon, but like I mentioned this in one of my previous videos for one of my Hetty Ivers novels, and it's just something about the material they use for these paperbacks. They're like suede. They just feel so nice. I'm gonna try not to be creepy about it like I was last time, because I felt like I was over the top creepy last time. As you can tell from the title of the books, or the title of the series, should I say, this is like an apocalypse type series, not like post-apocalyptic like the Cressley Cole's Arcana Rising series, where it's like post-apocalyptic and it's like the aftermath of the apocalypse. This is more like staving off the apocalypse, so it's kind of a little bit different. But it's funny because as I'm reading through these books, I am seeing like not like subtle nods towards other authors or other series, because these are definitely original works and, you know, they're their own thing. But I am noticing some similarities in terms of maybe the style of other authors or other series that may have influenced these two authors to write this series. You know, just everything we read, we like absorb. And if you're the type of person who is creative enough to write your own novels, I'm sure tons of stuff that you've absorbed from other people's novels has just like, it's in there, and it'll give you some of it might give you a jumping point off for the idea for a series or the idea for a novel, or like, you know, it kind of like everything you've read and absorbs kind of like bleeds into your own work. I don't know if I've never written a novel. I don't know if that's even a thing. I don't think I have the fortitude to write my own novels. But In many other books, I have seen where, you know, authors will pay homage to other authors that they've read or that they've really loved by putting similar type situations in their books, or certain turns of phrase in their books, you know, like, do you know what I mean? Am I making any sense? I don't even know if I'm making any sense. These books are currently published, like I said, through Amazon. They are large paperback novels, and they are only available in paperback format as of right now for the price of $16.99. Unfortunately, they're not available on Kindle or Nook or Audible or any of those other places at this time. $16.99 is not that expensive when you take into consideration that it is a large paperback novel. It is the same size as a hardcover book, and hardcovers usually retail for like $24.99, $25, something like that. So in terms of price, I don't think $16.99 is terrible. I do understand the fear of paying that price for an author that you are not familiar with, or an author that you've never read any of their work before. So I totally get that. And that may be off-putting to some people who would prefer to just go to like their used bookstore and buy them, or try a new author secondhand where you can find them at Goodwill or what have you. But to my knowledge, I don't think you're gonna find these books in your local Goodwill. So I would definitely say take the chance, buy them from Amazon. If the blurbs appeal to you and the premise of the story appeals to you, then take a shot. I mean, you're only out $17, you know? And if you end up loving it, then you'll already have it in your collection. So these books do have, as you can see, fairly long blurbs on the back. So I'm gonna try and like punch my way through this bitch, because I don't want another 35-minute video. And I know none of you guys want to see another 35-minute video from me, so let's get into it, okay? So like I said, the first one is Eclipsed Heart, and the blurb for this one says, the Brotherhood has watched and protected this world from the oncoming darkness for as long as time has existed. Each age brings a new threat, a new way for the darkness to eclipse the light forever. It has been over 500 years since the last major trials, and the world is due. I can't pronounce the last name. I'm not even gonna try because I'm just gonna tear it all up. Isaac dreams of the end and the woman he must find. Beautiful and perfect, she is the first of 4 that is needed to ensure the world does not end and humanity isn't thrust into the depths of an unimaginable hell. But finding her in a city as large as Savannah, Georgia is going to be like finding a needle in a haystack. He needs to find her, bond with her, and keep her for always. And he is ready. Magnolia Morgan has no idea just how special she is. A librarian obsessed with the ancient world, she stumbles onto her wildest dreams just talking to Isaac one night. A man she would never consider talking to her, she is enraptured and excited that for once her normal, dull existence is going to be shaken up by the sexy bar owner who kisses like the devil. But other forces are at work against the Brotherhood, forces that have been working in the shadows, watching, planning, and they want Maggie as well. Isaac is going to have to rely on all his strength and experience to ensure she becomes his for all time, because the fate of the world is in her hands. So that's a pretty long blurb, and hopefully gives you some idea as to what these books will be about. I'm also going to read you guys the blurb for Spectral Heart, and it's a little bit shorter, but I'll get to that in just a second. Let me break down this book for you guys first. So essentially, you have, just like with other series like J.R. Ward's Black Dagger Brotherhood series, there's no vampires, so that's out, but the premise of good versus evil, which is prevalent in many novels, that premise is also very present in this series. So Isaac is one of 4 men who are, I don't know if you would consider them like immortals, but they do have very long lifespans and they've lived for a very long time. I don't know if they'll live forever. I don't remember reading that, but it's possible. I'm not sure. But, you know, they've been through multiple wars together. They're being guided by, I guess you'd call them like elders or like mentors, like super old crotchety guys, you know, whatever, who are supposed to be like following these prophecies of like world-ending type events to help steer these 4 men on the path to finding their fated 4 females to stave off the apocalypse. Okay, I think that's pretty Cliff Notes without me going into 45 minutes worth of me just going. So the first book is Isaac's book, and Maggie is the female character lead, the heroine, if you will. And it's really great that she has like that background. She's a librarian. She has that background of like ancient, she likes reading like ancient texts. She likes history. She likes, you know, that kind of thing. But, you know, there is, just like with J.R. Ward's Black Dagger Brotherhood series, there is like a secret society or a secret sect. I think it's called the Sect of Kronos. And it's essentially a group of nut jobs who want to bring about the apocalypse or want to bring about like this world cleansing type situation. I'm not sure why they would think that they would be spared. Like, people are so stupid. Come on. So I don't want to give any spoilers away, but throughout the series, they will be fighting that secret society. And yeah, so that's pretty much the premise that starts us out with the series in this book. The second book, the male main character or the hero is a gentleman by the name of, is he a gentleman? No, no, he's a dirty little boy, okay? His name is Gunnar. And the female lead is, her name is Sadie. And they're so super cute together. It's like, oh my God, it's so cute. So this book, I'm going to go ahead and read you guys the blurb, and then I'll break that one down for you as well. So the blurb for this one says, his dreams have turned up a feisty slip of a woman with tri-colored hair who is wild, sexy, and beyond anything he can imagine, and more than he ever thought he deserved. But he knows that with the good comes the bad, and his trial is going to be anything but easy. Sadie Coulter never thought she would find a man that she wanted, let alone could handle her. Gunnar is everything she has ever wanted since the moment her grandmother told her she was destined for something special. She loves that he likes who she is. Her focus is to be with him forever, his ride or die. But bonding is proving difficult, no matter how hard they try. As with everything else in Gunnar's existence, it's going to happen the hard way. When Savannah is thrust into a battle of biblical proportions, it's up to both of them to see the city and each other through. Because without the bond, the world will be sucked into darkness and there will be nothing anyone can do. So I'm sorry if my camera is shaking. I'm like nervously jiggling my leg as I read. And I just realized that I was shaking the camera as well. And I'm sorry, okay? So like I said, the 2 main characters for this book are Gunnar and Sadie. Gunnar, along with the other 3 main male characters from the series, all own a bar in Savannah, Georgia, which is where the series takes place. It's called the Bay Street Brewery. And they work at this bar. There are a lot of scenes that take place at this bar, but I would not say like the bar is the focus of the books. A lot of this takes place in the fortress where the 4 men live. A lot of it takes place on the streets of Savannah, which I'm from South Carolina. I'm not familiar with Savannah at all. I'm just going to assume that the street names and everything are accurate to the location, because if I'm not mistaken, Stella, one of the authors of the book, is from Savannah, Georgia. So I'm going to assume all these places are real because I'm going there one day. I'm going to go check it out. So this book has zombies in it. So each one of the four guys has like their own set of trial, their own trial they have to get through. And it's basically they have to bond with their female, which is a 3-part process. Usually the first one takes place with like a kiss or something, like the first meeting. And then the second bonding clicks into place when either they're intimate and they have sex. And the third one involves blood. So it could be like they're in the midst of a fight and, you know, one of them is bleeding and the other, you know what I'm saying? So there's 3-part bonding, and they have to complete all 3 parts before the end of their trial or before the, you know. So this, like I said, this book is the second in the series. How should I put this? So the sex scenes in the first novel, in Isaac and Maggie's story, they were good. They were not overly graphic in terms of like raunchy, like crazy, like, oh, scandalized, right? Classy. They kept it classy, you know what I'm saying? This one, a little bit kinkier. But again, not like anything like hide this book from your parents. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that bad, okay? But the books are really well written. If I had to say that there was one thing about the books that snagged me, and it's not necessarily a downside, it may just be the writing styles that I'm used to. For me, it did seem like sometimes the paragraphs, like the spacing of the paragraphs or of like the transition between narration and actual character speech was sometimes like weird. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it's definitely not bad. It was just like, it took my mind like a couple of chapters to get into that mindset to where it didn't like snag me as I was reading. So the spacing of the transitions were like, or of the paragraphs were not what I'm used to. But they were well written. They do, like the writing style does flow, which I really appreciated. The story itself, I also really liked, and I've never been huge on like apocalyptic type series books. I've always been like paranormal romance, like vampires, werewolves, things like that, contemporary romance, which this is a contemporary romance, but it does also fall into the category of like that apocalyptic type stuff. So the fact that I actually enjoyed the first 2 books in this series, and I'm not one for apocalypse type books, should tell you a lot. For the rating for both of these books, I'm going to give them both an 8.5 out of 10. I really liked them. I'm definitely going to go on and read the other 2, but I didn't want to make you guys wait so long to do like an all-encompassing review for all 4 books, because A, it would take me like an hour to do that review. B, with everything that's going on in the world right now, plus my 3-year-old, plus working, life, whatever, you probably see this review in like 6 months. So I figured, fuck it, I'll go ahead and I'll review the first 2 books, which I finished, and I'll come back and review the second 2 books in another video. So hopefully you guys won't be peeved at that. But I think this is a good jumping off point for you guys to get some knowledge of the books, the authors, what the premise of the series is going to be about. And I think that if you're willing to take a chance on something by an author that you've never read before, I don't think you'll be mad at these. I don't think you're going to be mad. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. So I would really like to thank you guys for joining me for another review. I'm so sorry it's been 23 minutes. I'm so sorry that I'm long-winded. Like, I just have verbal diarrhea all the time. And some people might like that, and they might be like, no, you know, your personality is amazing, and we love seeing you just for like an hour. No, I do not believe that. But I thank you guys so much for joining me and tolerating me for the full 25 minutes of this video, plus bloopers, because oh my God, can you imagine? Half an hour video. Eres or eres. Okay. If you guys would like to follow me on my other social media accounts, I do have a members only Facebook group. I have an Instagram and a Twitter account, all under variations of the name What the Smut Book Reviews, which I will link in the description box below. And I will also put a cute little banner right here. There's a fly. There's a fly in here, or a gnat or something. Oh my God. Okay. If you like this video and if you like me in general, I would really appreciate if you would subscribe to my channel so you can see more reviews, and like this video, give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment if you would like. I reply to all my comments because I have no life. So I would really appreciate it, and stay tuned for my next video. I love you guys so much. Bye. Woohoo! Ooh, I am feeling up close and personal with you guys. It's because I don't want you to see my arm fat scissors. I might cut this whole thing out. That whole bleh that I just went through. I might just cut it because fuck that, you know. Is also present in the use your words, Candace. Use English, please. I keep saying you know, and I fucking hate that because I say it all the time. And then when I play back my videos, I hear it and I'm like, why are you saying that so much? And why do you say so much? And why do you go so much? And the answer is I don't know. I don't know. I talked about this in a previous video. I get like flustered when I'm talking, and like it's hot in here right now, and I'm like breathing heavy, and I'm not doing any exercise except for with my mouth. Pause. Okay? Don't do it. And another one down, another one. That's like my go-to song, bro. That's like my go-to song for whenever I finish a video. Look at the paleness. If you look at this though, like look at this. Look at the difference. Look at the difference. It's called farmer's tan. Maybe you've heard of it. It's where you wear a t-shirt outside all the time. So your forearms are mad tan, and the rest of you looks like Casper. Casper, the friendly ghost, friendly as a ghost. You don't do this with your hands. It's not cute. Also, my left forearm is like more tan than the right forearm because I hang my arm out the window sometimes when I drive. If you drive, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean. 26 minutes, 26 minutes, 26 minutes. This is the first and only time ever that I will wear a tank top in a video. Can you see my bra straps? I know you can't. I know you can see the bra straps. So inappropriate.